You are live.
Okay, very good. Thank you. I'd like to call the Public Utilities and Green Committee meeting to order. Do I have a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting?
Motion for approval of the previous minutes.
Mr. McKittrick, thank you. Have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, we have a few items and I'm going to ask if the first item be read in, please.
For item number 6 is an ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service, after publicly advertising for bids, to enter into a contract or contracts for the replacement of certain water mains throughout the city of Akron as part of the water main replacement program and declaring an emergency.
Very good. Mr. Luddle?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. This project that we've put together for 2021 is to replace various water lines throughout the city. And we've identified these water mains through water main break history. So we've got them in various wards throughout the city, basically from sizes 6 to 12 inches. Some are at least 100 years old. They're not completely from one end to the other of a street, but it's over a couple miles of water main. So we've received funding through OPWC. And we also received funding that we are going to use a WSRLA loan, which is a 25-year loan at 0.66% interest. And then the other is a Ohio Public Works Fund, a state capital improvement program loan for 25 years at 0% interest to fund this program. And with that, I will take any questions, sir.
Very good. So we're not dealing with lead issues on this. This is just the replacement of some old lines.
Correct. Absolutely.
Thank you. Questions or comments from committee members? Looking for hands. Any other council members that may have questions or comments? Not seeing any hands. What's your wish, Mr. Luddle?
I think Councilman Malik has a question, sir.
Oh, okay, there we go. Sorry about that, Shamus. I didn't see your hand.
No problem. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, Mr. Luddle. I think this is a great program. I just wanted to note, I saw that two of the streets are Courtney and Trentwood, and I know that Dan Hewitt is in the process of coming before us for a project where they will likely put in a new connection there at the corner of Trentwood and Reynolds. And so I just wanted to flag that and share that it's already on the radar, but just wanted to mention that.
I'm sure if they made application, we would do the tap at the time of excavation, but we'll double check that, sir. Thank you.
All right, take care, sir.
Thank you. So is consent okay on this, Mr. Luddle?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The motion for consent?
Motion for consent agenda.
Thank you.
Second.
We have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thank you. Next item, Sarah.
Item number 7 is an ordinance authorizing the mayor or his designee to participate in the Water Resource Restoration Sponsor Program and to execute a sponsorship agreement for the Burton Wetlands West Branch Cuyahoga Complex project under the WRRSP and declaring an emergency.
Very good. Thank you. Mr. Luddle, will this be you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I actually have Heather Unger on today too, if there's any technical questions, but high level here, we're sponsoring one of our restoration programs. So back in the end of March or 1st of April of this year, this council passed legislation to allow us to put a conservation easement on about 335 acres of land we own to preserve them in perpetuity. They're wetlands. There was no other useful something for that land that we can use up in the watershed. So with that, we are sponsoring that with our SSR, which is our small diameter lining project, or large diameter lining project. And by doing that, we get a reduced interest rate. So we are going to save around $98,000 off of that loan from our large diameter lining project. with this legislation. Basically, this legislation will allow the mayor to execute a sponsorship agreement to sponsor our own project, which is the Birtland Wetlands Restoration Project.
Very good. Ms. Hollinger, anything you'd like to add?
Nope, Chris did a good job covering it. Nothing to add.
Well, thank you. Questions from committee members looking for raised hands or any other council members? Mr. Malik.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Luddle, I was just wondering, I had not seen a project before where we were the implementer and the sponsor. Is that something that we commonly do?
We have done that in the past. Heather, you want to give them another example? I think it was RAC 22.
This is the third time that we've sponsored our own project. We sponsored the Wilbeth Wetlands project in 2015, I think it was, with the Mud Run Storage Basin project. And we also sponsored the Eckert Ditch project, which is up in the watershed, with Dwayne Green project, which is in East Akron.
Thank you very much.
Very good. There are questions or comments? Okay. Consent, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Looking for a motion for consent
Motion for consent agenda.
and a second.
Second.
All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we'll see that's placed on the consent agenda. And then Sarah, we have one last item here. Is that it?
That was the end.
That was it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, thank you, Ms. Hollinger. Thank you for being with us, and as yourself as well, Mr. Luddle. And we are adjourned at 2:52. Thank you very much.
sir.
That is the final committee meeting of the day. Council will meet at 7 p.m. tonight.